and through, and go ahead and pinch everything right there and pull this string out completely, and then grab the train tracks and ride it up. I'm just gonna show you really quick what I've seen a lot in my workshops. So people get here and then they just like pull, and you see how it kind of loses the traction. They just pull a string and then the knot gets kind of curled behind. So that's why it's really important in this macrame knot is to keep a lot of tension and only really be pulling with one string at a time. So we make that 4. 4th string goes over, under, and through. So we've pinched everything and we're holding it, and now we're just gonna pull, we're gonna reach in this first loop and we're just gonna take it and pull it through. And do you see how only one string is moving? Only one string is moving. And now we can slowly, with even tension on both sides, drive it up. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna check the chat quick.
Amy had a question of if it's supposed to twist after you've done 3 or 4.
Yep, it's gonna start twisting. So if you can see up, I'm just gonna move it forward. You see mine? It starts twisting like this and it becomes this really beautiful spiral knot. Does everyone see that? So yes, it should start twisting. All right, how's everybody doing? Good. All right. Okay, so everybody keep going. And I do about 25 knots, sometimes more, it depends. You wanna keep a good length on your string. So how you count the knots is you can kind of straighten it out. And do you see these bars? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You want to have the same number on each group of 4, but everybody in the class can have different numbers depending on length you want, or if you're running out of string. So something that's very important as you start working a lot, you'll notice your long strings start to get shorter. So you want to, and I'll slow it down here in just a minute. So you want to make sure you have enough to make the basket. And you always just stay on this leftmost string to cross it over. Okay, I'll do a slow-mo right now. Okay, so we have the 4. We have our train tracks, so we cross it over, make the 4, and I pinch right here. Can everybody see that? And then I've made the 4. Does everybody see? And then you take this 4th string and go behind the train tracks and before the 1st string through that loop, and then you just pull it through. And then keeping a little bit of tension, you pull on your long strings and you kind of move it up. So one more time, or we can do this as many times as you need, but so make the 4, 4th string comes over. I see a lot of people mistake and put it under, so make sure it's over, under, and through. So just keep repeating that in your head. Over, over, under, and through. How are we doing? Everybody's doing it? Okay. I'm just gonna get to a length. So that I can show how much string is left for the basket. And anybody stop me at any time. I know at this time it kind of gets a little quiet because everybody's kind of getting it. So just stop me at any time. I'm just gonna work on mine so I can show you the actual basket portion. So just stop me at any time and go about 30 knots per section. You can do a little bit more, a little bit less. But as you see how my strings are slowly becoming the same size? You want to keep at least this much string on the bottom. So you want a good amount because you have a couple other knots to make the basket. So like I said, if you want to leave a good amount of string, we can always untie knots. That's no problem. I've spent a lot of my macrame career untying. That's actually kind of how you learn. So I'm just going to keep going, and you guys stop me if you need something. I can watch, but please use the chat, and then I'll be able to help you out. But yeah, go about 25, 35, depending on how much string you have. Because you want to have a good amount to make the knotter. Does everyone love their new plant? These plants look awesome because they begin to hang out of the basket. So okay. So I'm gonna stop about right here. That's a good chunk. And then I'll probably give it like this much space, and that's where we'll do the next knot, but don't worry about that now. You can go as much. Is everybody getting the knot? Looks like it. I'm just gonna peek at the screens.
Some people haven't shared. Well,
Oh,
we're
great.
doing it.
If you have a camera, you can zoom in and kind of show me what you're working with. Jessica Walter, I see yours. It looks good. So just zoom in a little bit. I just want to see how much string you have left. Oh, nice, Katie. Looks great. Awesome. Okay, it looks good.
There's rain.
Okay. Rain, I like the creativity of the tie-up. That was me at my apartment when I first started macrame. Okay, awesome, everyone. So once you get about 25, 35, is there a strategy when it starts to turn? I just twist it so that it lays flat. I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, I'll bring this forward. Because I know what you mean. So like right now, see how mine is laying like kind of sideways? What I just do is I just kind of pull it. It doesn't really matter, just so it's flat to you. And what else you can do is just like flip it. It's gonna be fine. You can even tighten it just so you can get a good idea. And then once you're done, it will loosen, just so it's nice and flat. I used to like switch sides and do that all crazy, but nope, it just is fine to twist it like that so it lays flat. Just remember to always start with the cord on the farthest side of the left. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start the second section. Do you see I have this first section done? I maybe did more than 25 or 35, but I just want to make sure everybody has enough cord. A lot of times during the workshop, I can come around and visualize you. So keep about this much at least. I wish I had a tape measure, maybe next time. Just so we have enough working space to make the basket. Like I said, we can always untie knots. That's no problem. Okay, so I'm gonna start the second group. Remember the two long cords on the end? Do you see what I mean? How short those cords get really fast. So two long cords on the outside, the two short cords on the inside as our base. And I always start a macrame project and start with the long cord as my base. So don't feel bad if you've done that. That's my infamous move. So leftmost cord, make the 4, over, under and through, pinch everything and pull. And remember to just stop me at any time. I'll try and go super slow so anybody watching. sometimes when you are doing it, you can kind of get scrambled and you just need to take a quick breather. I've had people go get coffee or just step away. My friends always invite me over and say, oh, I want to learn. And then after 10 minutes, they get tired and I end up finishing it for them. So feel free to take breaks or write in the chat. Okay. Okay, and we're also recording this. So you will get a link to it after. So, but yeah, please write in and just let me know, everyone, how you're doing. That way we can just kind of touch base. Just so nobody's too lost. What I call it is lost in the sauce. Sometimes it just, there's a lot of chords. And this is a skill that takes time. If you're a first-time macrame person, please don't feel like it should look perfect or you should already know. It definitely takes time. And that's what I mean, untying knots. Sometimes you learn through that. Because you look and you just know it's not right. And then through untying, you can realize what you did. So, but yeah, just check in with the chat. Let me know how you're doing. Okay, pick strings for the new section. So you should have 2 longer strings and 2 shorter strings. If you did 1 short end. If not, you just need 4 chords. Sometimes I started doing a shorter end and a longer end, and that's kind of an advanced move because I was making plant hangers and I was having all the chords the same length. And then at the end, I was cutting so much off because I wasn't using the bass chords, those 2 short chords in the middle. So what I did then was I shortened one side and I used the longer side. Does that make sense? Kind of. It's kind of confusing for your first time, but it just saves string. So you're not wasting so much at the end and you get a longer plant hanger. So if you made a shorter end, you should have 2 short chords and 2 long chords in a group of 4. Does that make sense? If you didn't do that in the beginning, no problem. Just grab 4 chords. You'll just end up cutting a little more off at the end, and that's totally fine as well. Does that make sense? Did I answer that question? Okay. So basically, if you did the longer and the shorter side, then you just want 4 chords, 2 long, 2 short. If you didn't do that and you just separated all the strings into 3 groups of 4, just grab 4 chords, that's fine. The 2 short chords in the middle, the 2 long chords on either side. Just so the 2 short chords are your train tracks, remember? Because they just provide the base of the knot. See how it's flat right here? See how that's flat? That's like the base of the knot. So anybody else questions, concerns? How's it going? Okay, yeah, this is the time it's really loud and busy for like the first 30 minutes and then it gets silent because everyone's very concentrated. So please stop me at any time. I can slow it down, we can zoom in. Just let me know. Everybody's working away, the chat boxes. All right, awesome. Okay, great. My sister and her fiance once came to this class and his mom is from Japan. And he was always really into origami and he was always really good with his hands. And so my sister could not figure this out for the life of her. And his looked just like perfect. Like he could have taught the class. So that was really funny. So yeah, we've done these at breweries and we love doing them at Bachman's because it's really fun with all the plants. So hopefully we'll get to do that again soon. Are there any first timers to macrame? Are there, and I know I get a lot of people like, my grandma used to do macrame, or I did macrame, or if anyone's made hemp bracelets, it's pretty similar to those. So kind of a throwback. Okay. So you want to make sure, I don't know where, I'm going to come look at the videos, but you want to make sure that when you finish your second section, it's like the same length as your first. If it's 1 or 2 knots off, you'll be able to know, but that way when you tie your basket, it's just nice and even. So yeah, how's everyone doing? Has everyone started their second? Some people still on their first. So see how my cords now have all evened out? That's a good way to kind of get an idea of how long it should be. So let me know. I'm gonna come look and just make sure everyone's doing okay. If you want to share, you can. Sweet. Is anyone to their second section yet? Okay, great. Okay, great.
Not yet.
That's okay. Take your time. And I'm gonna start the third section, but don't rush because we'll go over everything and it's the same knot until we get to the bottom. So everything on the top should be the same knot. Okay, I'm just gonna get this started. So anyone stop me anytime. I'm just gonna bring this a little bit closer. This thing is so handy. So remember to keep that good tension and always use your thumb and your pointer finger to kind of pinch the strings you're not working with. And you see how I just did that? That person who asked what you do when it starts to turn, like especially at the top, it starts to turn. So I just flipped it like that. Works the same. People are cruising through.
Okay, mine looks nothing like
Oh, really? Oh. You know, I bought a clothing rack off Amazon for $14 and it was a great investment. If you're thinking, you know, this is a lifetime skill, they make great gifts. You can teach your friends. Like I said, my friends think they want to learn and then I come over and they're like, okay, you can just finish it for me. So, but yeah, it works really nice. And that way you can like set it up in front of the TV, or I listen to audiobooks a lot. So few options for you.
that.
Has anyone made it to the third section yet? Okay. Okay. Sounds good. So if you're on your first section, I just want to stress enough that you leave enough room on the bottom of your string to make a basket. Does anyone want another slow-mo knot tying up close? Does anybody need one, or are you guys good on the knot? I can tie really slow. 4, over, under and through. Hold the string completely out. Tension on both sides. Okay, so my 3 are done. And I'll just leave these here. And I'll answer some questions or check in with everyone else. Doing okay?
Yeah. You can ask to maybe show it again.
Okay, does then
Just because I'm concerned.
okay, awesome. Jessica, are you on your 3rd? 2nd, okay. You're cruising. Anybody still on their 1st one?
So this is the mother and daughter. Oh, James,
Second.
yeah, second, yeah. That's great.
Oh. Oh my gosh, that's so funny on the steps, but it works.
Yeah, it's Kate. I think that's Kate
Yeah.
Herman.
Yeah, great. Okay, awesome. I'll let you just work for a little bit. And then in about 5-10 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how everyone's doing, I'll move to the basket part.
First and third. Yeah, they're kind of all over the place. Wendy the mom.
Yeah.
First, Sophia daughter. Third.
Okay, great. Yeah, no rush. We have a couple moms and daughters tonight. That's great. Karen, do you mind grabbing a photo of me? I need to take more naughty Katie photos. Sure, sure. No, not at all. Yeah. So now we're just gonna give a little information about the plant you got. So here's Karen.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Karen. I'm the marketing director here at Bachman's. I love programming such as this, and Katie is such a wonderful partner. Like she said, we've done these in store before last year and before COVID, and we hope at some point we can welcome people back in. But thank you so much for being the brave group that tried our first virtual macrame class. So it's very much appreciated. We're really excited to have given you a darling white container, and then you each got a pothos plant as well. Pothos are generally really great starter plants for first-time plant parents. Katie also mentioned that they drape down and they will continue to grow. They're very easy to propagate, so when it does come time to maybe give it a little trim or haircut, you can actually take that cutting and put it in a glass or a little vase of water, and it will start growing roots that you can plant in a brand new pot and have your own little plant baby. But they're really, really easy to care for. They like medium light, unless it is a highly variegated pothos. And your pothos have sort of a light green and dark green variegation. So variegation means that there's different colors within the plant. In order for it to maintain that variegation, they like bright indirect light. So if you have it in a low light situation, it will likely turn just to a darker green and not have as much character in the different colors. But if you provide it plenty of light, maybe from a western exposure, west or southern exposure window, it will keep that beautiful variegation. So, in terms of watering tips, sort of the biggest frustration is people will say, my pothos leaves are turning yellow. Well, that's because you're loving it too much and giving it too much water. So you can take your pothos and water it about once a week. If the soil is dry, kind of if you poke your finger 1 inch down into the soil, then it's time for another drink of water. But you never want to let your pothos sit in water. It does not like wet roots, or we call it wet feet. So medium to bright sunlight and light levels, and then watering about once a week. So you should enjoy some great success with this. And I still have my pothos from when I did the very first workshop with Katie. And I even propagated a plant too. So we hope that you enjoy that. So if you have any questions too about green plants, I'm happy to answer them.
All right, great. Okay, in just a few minutes here, then we'll start making the basket, which takes way less time, I promise. This is the most time consuming part, obviously. And if it's your first one, then you'll realize how quickly you catch on and you kind of get a little system. It's totally muscle memory. So in about 5 minutes or so, we'll do the basket part. How's everybody doing? Oop, looks like we had one drop. A camera. That's okay. Oop, I think we're. Can everyone hear me?
They can hear you.
Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, I'll give you a few more minutes to just kind of work away. Please remember to just keep asking questions if you have them, but everybody seems to be just getting along just fine. Sweet. Okay, yeah, just a few minutes, and then I'll just have you kind of maybe hold the camera down, or we can move it down. Just starting my third. Okay, awesome. Okay, great. I know everybody seems to really, I was worried that my teaching wouldn't translate to Zoom. So please also message me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram if you have that, and just send me messages about how you could learn better or how I can teach you better. I know I've come a long way from my first class to now 2021 Zoom. So please, I'm open to anything that would help you. I know I have some videos on my Instagram, And yeah, just send me a message or tag me in your work. I love to see that. And some familiar faces. I know a couple of our past workshop goers have asked for like an intermediate class, so that could be really fun. So yeah. But my Instagram is Naughty Katie, KNOTTY Katie, KATIE, and underscore. So if you look it up, or maybe you can find me on the Bachman's Instagram as well. So yeah, so just a couple more minutes. I'll let you work away and then we'll do the basket part. And remember, this is a recording. And I have a lot of people who take their plant hanger home because, you know, it's tiring. It's also really tiring on the hands if you haven't done it before. So, you know, like when you write with a pencil and you haven't for a while and your hand cramps. So if you're experiencing that, don't feel bad about taking a break or coming back to this at all. That's why we're recording it and all that stuff. So, yes. So yeah, you can just kind of line these up. Make sure they're nice and even. And then we can make the basket. And that's the fun part when everything comes together and you make your hanger and then you set the plant in. It's very satisfying. So. Oh yeah, they're adorable. I know everybody is doing a great job. I swear every workshop I teach, people need my help less and less. So I think we're growing together. How's everyone doing? Thumbs up. Any questions? Okay, Jessica, looks like you're really cruising, almost done. Rain. What are you on your third? Okay, awesome.
Done.
Oh, they
there goes
turned the lights. Hold on, they turned the lights off on us. Okay, Rain, so it looks like you're ready for the basket part. And so once they turn the lights back on, oh, Katie, or Kate, yours looks great. Okay, yeah, so you guys are getting ready to make the basket. So we'll turn the lights on and we'll get started. Okay, I'm very, very excited to see everyone. So please take a picture, tag me on Instagram, or you can email it to me. I'd love to repost them or whatever. So if you want to give me permission to do that, I'd love to do that. So just a minute here. Okay, awesome. So now it's gonna get a little bit more confusing, but I promise we only have 6 knots to go. Well, maybe 7. So what you're gonna do to start is grab 2 that are next to each other, okay? And you are going to, oh, this works good. Okay, so you see now you have the 4 strings laid flat. So lay them flat. And now you'll have the total of 8 strings. So does everybody understand kind of what I'm doing? Okay, so you're gonna remove the 2 farthest from 1 and the 2 farthest from the other one. So now you have 4 strings from that are close together like this. And all you're gonna do is make another knot. You want to give it a good amount of space so that your plant hanger opens up. So, Karen, do you want to grab that hole? So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make that square knot or the half square, whatever, that knot you've been making. And we're just gonna hold it down right here. And all we're gonna do now is make that knot again, but we're gonna start from the 4th string this time. So we're gonna make the 4, pull this one over, under and through.
She's recording it also.
Just like that. And now you've made a square knot. So I'm just gonna, does everybody see that? So I'm gonna make another one. So basically what you're doing is the knot you just did. So you're gonna do that first, like you do, and then you're gonna rotate so it makes that square knot. Does everybody kind of understand? It's a little bit confusing. So I'm gonna give you another example. So you have those 4 strings from 2 groups, okay? So lay them flat so you have, so you're not kind of like crossing over, they're just laying nice and flat. So now you grab your 2 base, your train tracks, and you make a knot like you would. I'm gonna make sure it's nice and even. You kind of want to line it up. And what you're gonna do now is just switch the side. So now you're starting on the right side, over the train tracks, make the 4, go behind everything and through the loop. Sorry, it's really small because I'm like between the phone. And then you'll pull it tight. And it makes that square knot. What do we think here? How's everyone doing? They're getting it? Awesome. So now, you should have 2 of the, so you should be connecting them all. So now the 2 partners, make sure you lay them flat. So this is where you kind of got to twist them because you don't want the strings crossing. So the 2 out, so the outsides become the insides. So you pull down, you have that 4. You have that 4. You make your first half knot. And you just kind of pull it like this. So to line them all up, you want the knots to line up. So I just kind of, I don't measure anything. I just kind of pull them together because you want the first round to be the same height because that's what's going to make the basket. So now do you see how all these strings are connected? And you kind of just want them to be the same height. So if one is kind of up here and another one's down here, just untie it and try it again. How's everyone doing? This part is kind of tricky, so I'm expecting to go over it a couple times. So how are we doing? Everyone getting it? Kind of?
Nope. Yep.
Got it? Okay, great.
She's not, but her daughter's there to help.
Okay.
Apparently the husband.
Jessica, how are you doing? You want me to go over it again quick?
Yeah, I got it last one. You did the second one. I had the first one, so I have the first square knot.
Okay, and why don't you move it down a little bit on the string? So why don't you just untie and move it down a little bit on the string? Because you don't want it up too high. You want to give it a little room because then the plant will sit and open it. But if it's too tight, do you see it doesn't give it much room to open?
Okay.
And Karen, when I do this next, do you want to just hold the phone so I can kind of show? That'd just maybe be easier. Yeah. Okay, so I'll give it another example. So say you made your first knot connecting these two. So now you want to go connect these two and you kind of want to bring it around. So it's an open circle. You want to be connecting the ones that are next to each other. You don't want to be like twisting them. Otherwise you'll kind of have like a spider web effect. So the outside strings, so see they're the outside, become the inside now. So you want to lay them flat like this. And you want to line them up to your other knot. So you have the 4. Just like we have been doing, you make that first knot. But instead of starting with this left side, now we're switching it to the right. And you can kind of loosen it and line it up by just loosening it. So now we're going to start on the right side and we're making that 4. We're pulling now this string over, under, and through. Pull it all the way through and tighten. And now you'll have that square knot. Does everybody kind of see how that worked out? So now we're just going to do that same thing. So now your plant hanger should look like this. It's connected by those V's. It should be making a circle and you should have like that V going all around. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to do 3 more sets connecting them one more time. So I give it like 2.5 inches, 3 inches. You don't want to go all the way down because then your plant will sit funny in it. You only want to give it like a couple inches. And then you get that very beautiful V effect that's on the plant hanger or on the pot. Once again, taking the 2 next to each other, laying you lay all the strings flat that are next to each other, get rid of the outside 2, and so you should have the 4 cords. Give it 2.5 inches and just make your first knot. And now start on the other side, make that 4. Go take this first string, go over, under, and through. Yeah, it's like a backwards 4. And then go to the next 4 strings. So just grab the 4 and do the same thing. And you can kind of see how I can kind of pull up the string. And so it just kind of matches. And now I'm going to do that backwards 4. Pull it all the way through and make that knot. And then last one, and here's where I sometimes flip that S hook to just make it easier. Or you can walk to the other side if that's available. So now you should have only 4 cords. Ooh, I'm wobbly. You should have only 4 cords left to make the final connecting knot. So you can kind of move it and then boom. And so it should give this effect. See how you're making those triangles? Or diamonds, sorry. Okay, does that make sense to everyone? This part is kind of confusing. So I have a few alternates for you if you're like, so we'll check the chat box, okay? How are we doing?
Please do it again, Wendy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna untie all of these knots and I'm just gonna do it one more time, okay? And I'll have Karen stand there the entire time. So I'm not like being weird. See how easy it is to untie? So I'll do this in the entirety again. And then I'll show an alternate knot as well. So the first top 3, I'll do the square knot. If you're thinking, no way, I'll show the second knot. That will be much easier for you, okay? So let me just untie these quick. Okay. All right, so you have your 3 sections, okay? You're just gonna start with 2 and you're gonna lay the strings flat. So make sure the ends are both flat. So all strings, so you're not like this or you're not like twisting. You kind of want them to end at the same size and your strings aren't like crooked. You just want to lay them nice and flat so you can count across 8 strings, okay? Then you're just going to get rid of 2 from the right side and 2 from the left side, and you should be left with 4 strings. And they're nice and flat, just like your section up here, okay? But what you're doing now is you're connecting 2 of these sections to make the basket. So give yourself a good amount of space. I would say, oh, I'm horrible with measurements, like a foot, a little bit more. And you're gonna make a knot just like you were making up there. You make the 4 and pull it under and through. Now here's where things get tricky, okay? You're starting on this side and that kind of makes a sealed knot. So you start over here and twist and make the 4, but it's backwards. Now the first string comes over, under, and through. So just like you were doing, and you kind of make this square knot. So worst case scenario, if you're thinking no, all you need to do then is just do 2 of the knots like we were doing. You can just do another one starting on the left side, and that will also make a knot, but you see how it kind of turns? So you can just do 2 knots like you were up here from the left side, but it turns. So whatever you prefer. Or if you're saying no way to either, you don't like how they look, you can just go like this. So take these 4 strings and make just a knot like you would. Pull it through and knot it. And that is cute as well. And see how it will connect the strings, same thing. So totally your choice. For the sake of teaching you a new knot, a square knot, I'm just gonna keep doing square knots. So one more time, we're gonna do that square knot. So we do it like we did above. And then we're gonna start on the right side, make the 4, go over, under. Pull it through, keep that tension, and then just pull it up evenly on both sides. So now we're just gonna move to the right and grab the next 4 strings. So it should be 2 that are the train track and 2 that originally started as our long strings. So do you see how they're nice and flat? So you're not pulling like this string from over here and this string like that. You're just grabbing the 2 strings that are next to each other. And you're gonna bring it down to about where your other knot is and do the same thing. And what's really nice about doing this is you can kind of move up and down. So you can give it a little slack just because you want them to be about the same size. They don't have to be exact because they're not right next to each other when the plant's in there. So you would never know. But there we go. And now this is where I sometimes flip it. You should have 4 strings remaining. So 2 in the center, 2 in the outside, you have your 4 strings. And see how this one's like curling that way, but I still use the farthest string on the outside and move it to the center, and that kind of pulls it in. So we do this. And now we start from the right side, make the 4. First string goes over, under, and through. Pull it up. Okay, so now you have your first 3. Where's everybody? How's everybody doing with that? Should we check the box quick? I'll just check the box. How's everybody doing? Thumbs up, looking good, got it? Okay, awesome. We have a thumbs down, okay. Good, got the 3 knots, awesome. And remember, you can just tie it you can just tie it together. It will look also really cute as well. And it looks like we have a helper. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna now do the next set. So move about 2 or 3 inches down from these knots, not too far. you just want like, maybe even like a little less than the height of the pot. Do you see, like, you want to take it and then you're just going to do the same thing. So put the knots next to each other, lay out the 8 strings, get rid of 2 from the outside, the farthest outside, and you're going to make your knots. Move to the right, lay the knots next to each other, take the 2 remaining strings, 2 more from this group now, push that second one off to the side, make your knot. And now last one, this should be your last one. There should be 4 strings remaining. Lay the knots next to each other, let the strings fall flat. See how they're nice and flat and they're not like crisscrossed or anything? By just doing that, you push them by just letting the knots next to each other. And this is what makes your basket. So now there's just one more step. Okay. And then what we're gonna do, you have a couple options. You can cut a string like this length and you can do another gathering knot like we did at the top. Or what I like to do is give it about 1.5 inches at the bottom. And I just like to loop all these strings around and pull them through for a big chunky knot. I like the way that big chunky knot looks on the bottom. It kind of gives the plant like a shelf. And so you wanna make sure from this bottom knot, you're only giving it like 1.5 inches because it's going to open up and be double that. So then, so option to make a gathering knot if you like the look of that. I kind of like this big chunky knot look. It's really your call though. So now, this is the best part. Kind of tighten that. And now we can put the plant in. Ooh. So we just open up. And the plant should sit right in there. Beautiful. And then you can kind of pull the leaves through, but be gentle. All right, yay. And so then you have your very own plant hanger. And you can put this on your curtain rod, or you can put it outside. My mom puts hers outside in the summer. And it's cotton, so it looks really bohemian and cute. You can trim the bottom if you want. For the sake of this, I'll leave this one for now, but if you want to trim the bottom, you can do that as well. I just like the look how it's all different. See how when you work with the cord, it kind of frills. So, and I could have even made this one a little bit longer. See, there's some extra string, but yeah, looks beautiful. I'm gonna check the chat and see if anybody's was able to complete it. How are we doing? Everybody good? Anybody got the last knot? Let you finish up. Any questions? Oh, yay, Rain, it looks great. What do you think? How cute. Oh, it looks awesome, guys. Good job, Kate. Do you have your pot? Just, Kate, I think your last knot, you want to bring it up a little bit. Because you want it to be close to your last knots, if that makes sense. Otherwise, the pot will fall out if it's too low. Does that make sense? So you want to have it be like only a couple, like 2.5 inches from your last knot. You want to just pull that knot up, just so it makes it kind of like the bottom. You want it to be like the radius of half of the pot from the last knot, so it makes the basket. If it's too low, then the pot will kind of like sink through. Oh, let me see. Oh gosh, it looks amazing. Awesome. It looks so good. What do you think? All right, Wendy, good job. Looks awesome. How's everyone doing? Do you love it? I know, Wendy, there's 2 people there. It looks good. I know, it looks awesome, everyone. Oh, yay. G and K. If you can, please take a picture. Oh, great. Bronwyn looks awesome. Love it. Oh, it looks good. What do you think? And you guys made these in like an hour. That's crazy. It looks good, everyone. Oh, cute. Oh, Jessica looks awesome. And yeah, you guys can trim the bottom. Oh my gosh, Bronwyn, I love that you're in your bathroom right now. That's so awesome. I've been there many times making stuff, trying to move my shower curtain out of my bathroom to work macrame on it. All right. Looks good, everyone. Love it, you guys. Please take, I'm gonna put my Instagram in the chat. If you guys want, please send me some pictures, or if you have questions. I would love to help you. You know, if you have projects, sometimes people send me projects and I can show them how to make a knot or. All right, guys, I love it. Any questions from anyone? Looks good. All right, guys, good job. So please reach out. You can send Karen an email. She knows how to get a hold of me, but please, if you have any questions, we can totally answer them but send me pictures. I love to see them.
Thanks, Kate.
Yeah, of course.
So thank you everyone for joining us. It has been so fun to see your finished artwork and your green plants. These are deeper planters as well. So if you would like to put a little piece of like styrofoam in the bottom or even a little wood block, you're welcome to do that. It just sort of lifts it up. I love the pairs of people doing this together. Hopefully you can have a glass of wine or something cold now to celebrate your success. But please go ahead and share this on Katie's Instagram and tag her and Bachman's. We'd love to see more of what you've done and where you're going to put your new plants. So be well, and tomorrow you'll get a link to this video too if you would like to reference it later. So are there any questions that I can help with? No. Behind me, it doesn't look like the greenhouse, but we're getting ready for our Spring Ideas house that happens within Bachman's on Lindale, just like our harvest and holiday one. So we're trying to keep it a secret as long as we possibly can. But March 11th is when it opens. The tour opens to the public. And I will tell you what, it is all about springtime and creating that perfect outdoor oasis on your patio or front step. So I think we are all anxiously awaiting that time. So we hope that you'll come and join us and keep on the lookout for more workshops and activities too. So we're grateful that you are with us tonight, and we wish you a very happy weekend.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
So fun.